Hi everyone, I'm James O'Grady. Welcome to Stage 4, Cycle of Development. Congratulations on your promotion. It's a big promotion, crew leader, I reckon. Maybe isn't the one that makes you the money or gets you the most glory, but I think it's the biggest signal that you can really do this business. You've replaced yourself a couple of times, your crew's growing now, you're learning to manage multiple people and learning to prioritize what matters in your business every day and what doesn't. That can be a big challenge. I'm going to be covering expectations on Stage 4 through a number of topics. The first one is image, so Stage 4, subsection image. Everything image related is about your credibility. Do you have the credibility to push your people and to demand standards? Throughout my career, when I'm on form, when I'm flying and when I'm in an unassailable position running my crew, I'm setting the pace in every area and I have no problems and 100% confidence in pushing my people. If ever I'm not, which look, is realistic, I'm not asking anyone to be perfect. Set the pace in territories people don't like will enable you to push people and demand from people more than you realize. Cheeky little tip there might be going back into a territory that a sector has had difficulty in, taking people's old callback sheets, going visiting customers again, and actually doing sales in territories that people have struggled in that way. Again, it gives you a lot of collateral to push people with, and it means you haven't got to push people with your words. It's your actions that do the pushing. I'm going to ask you to set the pace in calmness, that whatever happens is meant to happen. That's not a bad little sort of mantra. Like, if it's happened, it's meant to happen. It really is. I'm not a big peace and love sort of yoga-y sort of person, but if it's happened, it's meant to happen. There's certainly no point worrying about it. There's probably not a huge amount you can do about it. But what there is an opportunity to show people how to handle any particular problem that's coming along, and trying to show people that my enthusiasm, energy, and excitement for what we do is not just based around sales results. And in actual fact, when sales results are good, that is the time I can take a breather. That's the time I can relax. That's the time I can set a goal and take a day off. I need my energy for when things are absolutely flying. And I lastly want you to set the pace in promoting positives. I want you to always have a story. You're going to need to use your network. You need to speak to people regularly and have something to say in your division, in your city, in your country, wherever. But a story, a big positive example story from around the place, it means that you've never got a quiet moment, and you're not allowing people to sort of formulate potential excuses in their mind. I want to ask you to talk big with credibility, with the performance to back it up a little bit, and to talk big when there are problems, and to talk big when things aren't going your way. That's the classic sort of crew leader mistake. There was an old joke once upon a time where when someone got promoted, they used to get a little pin. Some countries may still do this, a little pin for their suit jacket, sort of showing that they're a crew leader. And the running joke was this used to be called a complacency pin. And when people got promoted to crew leader, that they kind of thought that they'd made it. And the reality is we haven't. I remember being promoted. It doesn't mean anything. It means I work harder. It doesn't mean I make any more money in many cases. So look, try and understand that this is a pat on the back halfway through a marathon to get yourself promoted, rather than a massive congratulations. It's a fantastic achievement, and in many ways means more in terms of your skill development, but in terms of your income and in terms of your promotion, it is a halfway point. I'm going to want you to think about your image in terms of your relationships, the way you manage people on your team that you like, the way you manage people on your team that you don't like, the way you manage your friends, which is challenging. When you go and field together every day and you build this business together, it's difficult not to make friends. We've the same mindset, we have a lot of the same goals, and I've got some very good friends that I've met in the business, in the field. Yet managing the people that you're closest to is the most challenging, and also is the most examined by other people in the office and by other members of your team. So being aware that you need to formulate a relationship that starts based in business, that yes, in some cases may evolve into a friendly business relationship, and maybe in some cases does evolve into friendship. but let people see your understanding of the fact that business and personal need to be separate. Have good conversations with people, setting expectations for how you're going to handle them, and whether they can handle you as a friendly person, still pushing them and still. I think your relationships and your behaviour socially can have a big effect, and I would certainly, I think I've certainly seen people on stage 4 and above, come apart a little bit in terms of their social behaviour. I don't think it's my role to play dad here by any means. I don't think I have that authority. But look, if you've got vices, if you've got crazy stuff that you want to get up to, look, I'm not here to preach. Do it. Enjoy yourself. Whatever it is you get up to is entirely your own business. But do it away from work. At the end of the day, when you're promoted, you are asking people to put their career in your hands. Potentially to move office with you. Maybe even to move country with you one day. Who knows? That's certainly happened to me. And when it comes down to it, the most fun guy in the room is always the most fun guy in the room in the pub. But who are you going to put your carear in the hands of?
Another big area
ask yourself in Image in terms of your ability to follow through. I am a careless person with my words. Talk a lot, you're in this business, chances are you talk a lot, and through absolutely no malice. The danger is that I can make promises I don't keep. Whether it's something as simple as meeting someone for coffee the next day, whether it's as simple as me committing to running a training for someone that I haven't thought about or I haven't planned my day. If I am careless with my words, people will stop listening to them. So maybe filtering, maybe checking, maybe not committing, and learning the word, very important word in the English language, which is no. Can you say no? Can you say, I'm not sure, I'll get back to you? Do you have a method of staying organized? Do you keep a good diary? Does your phone bleep at you telling you when conference calls are, or telling you, appointments that you've made? It's a silly thing. Have I ever missed an appointment? Of course I have, but it needs to not be often, and it needs to not be something that when I'm making a promise, or when I'm saying that I'm going to follow through on a particular thing, that people do believe that 99.9 times out of 100 is actually going to happen. Final thing concerning image and the way that people see you, just to make sure that the positives in your business go down. In other words, everything good in your business needs to get communicated to the people that are less experienced than you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's fantastic. People need to hear all that, and we need. Why do we, in so many cases, run daily meetings and have daily conference calls? Because my human nature for me isn't to always focus on the positive. So all the good things in my business need to get communicated to all the people that need that energy and that enthusiasm. And whether that be in the form of a newsletter, a text message, a conference call, a one-on-one phone call, a chat, a crew meeting, a morning meeting, whatever you like, those positives got to go down. That is the oxygen that your crew needs to feed on when they're accepting the negatives of working in the business world. Whether that be sales negatives, recruitment HR negatives, whatever it might be. The opposite, of course, is when you've got problems, that those problems need to go up. Unlikely that anybody with less experience than me is necessarily going to have a calm enough head or the experience to tell me what to do when my business isn't working, when I've got issues. And by the way, that's pretty much all the time. Ever since I put my first person in my crew, I've always had issues in my business. So, let's not overreact to those, perhaps, number one. But more than anything, let's communicate those problems to people that can help. And that is likely to be the business partner or the owner that you're working with. That is likely to be people with more experience than you. It could be whoever you like. But make sure you're listening to people that have experience, or listening to people that have credible business. It doesn't even have to be within our industry. But I know one thing. I'm not necessarily going to ask my mum for business advice. She cares too much about me sometimes to give me good business advice. If you know what I mean by that, my mum is likely to say whatever I need to hear to make me feel better. Whereas in reality, in business, sometimes I need to hear things that don't make me feel better, but nonetheless will make my business feel better in the longer term. Your image in this business and your reputation in this business is hard earned. You go in the field every day to earn that reputation. You build your first couple of teams and build that reputation. And unfortunately, reputations are much easier to lose than they are to gain. So as a newly promoted crew leader, no doubt, and hopefully your reputation is good so far, but people will start to look at you differently. And of course, you have that, unfortunate seniority. Our business has a no seniority policy, but the way, perception works is people will see that, and therefore will become more judgmental of you in some of the areas I've mentioned. Stay disciplined with it. You certainly don't need to be perfect. I don't expect any of the people training me over the years to have been perfect, and I would have been disappointed if that's what I did expect. However, energy, effort, and an attempt to do the right thing certainly will take you a long way. Image is a simple thing, but something you've got to concentrate on a little bit. Good luck with it. We'll speak to you in a few minutes on the next bit. We're going to get through a few things today. Have a good one, and we'll speak to you soon. Thanks.